Be prepared. The transformation has already begun. You are no longer who you were yesterday, and now everything is about to change. Something has already shifted inside you, quietly but powerfully. The energies building before this super full moon on October 6 are rewriting you from the inside out. The universe isn't waiting for the moon to rise. It's already preparing those who are meant to rise with it. The reason you were pulled to this very moment is that a part of you is finally ready to crack open. That person you see in the mirror. The one who feels so tired, so unsure, always wondering when things are finally going to get better. That's not who you're becoming. That's just the ghost of who you used to be. You're being shaped into someone you might not even recognize at first. And all that pain, that confusion, that feeling of endless waiting, it was never a punishment. It was all just preparation. Think about it. Every piece of your life that seemed to fall apart was just making space for what's on its way. You're not just leveling up. You're becoming a whole new frequency. And when this full moon hits its peak, everything is going to click. But you have to be ready for it before it gets here. And that's what's happening right now. If you're even a little bit spiritually tuned in, you absolutely need to know what's going on in the lead up to this full moon. A power you can't ignore. Right now, something is building inside of you that you might not have the words for yet. It might feel like you're restless, or maybe even a little irritable. But what's underneath all of that is pure power. Just this raw, unstoppable will. As we get closer to the full moon, those of us who are chosen are being pushed to a point where we just can't stand the things that drain us anymore. Old habits, toxic people, waiting for things to happen. It all just starts to feel too heavy to carry. This is why you might suddenly feel like saying enough is enough, without even thinking twice. You're not second-guessing yourself anymore, are you? You're not waiting for permission. You're just moving on instinct. And you know what that instinct really is. It's courage. When the full moon rises, all that hesitation just dies. That's the energy we're in. It's like this quiet takeover by the part of you that's always been fearless but was buried under a mountain of doubt. So don't be shocked if you suddenly start cutting ties you thought would last forever, or making big decisions you used to spend months overthinking. This isn't you being reckless. It's you finally getting into alignment. The full moon doesn't wait for anyone. And right now, neither do you. The same energy that pulls the oceans is pulling your boundaries into place. By the time that moon is full, you won't be thinking about being bold. You'll already be living it. And after that, the world is going to meet a version of you they've never seen before. But there's an even weirder shift happening at the same time. And it really only shows up after the sun goes down. When the night comes alive. As the full moon gets brighter, something strange starts to happen to the chosen ones. Our sharpest, most creative energy doesn't come during the day anymore. Instead, it just blooms after dark, almost like the moonlight is flipping a switch on inside of us. Those nights that used to feel so quiet now feel electric, don't they? And the hours you used to dread, they're becoming the very hours you feel the most alive. This isn't just insomnia. It's not random. It's the moon's energy sensing your internal clock to its own rhythm. The moon doesn't just light up the night sky. It lights up what's been hidden inside of you. That's why you might find yourself feeling totally inspired at midnight. Suddenly, you're planning, writing, creating, or just getting these bursts of clarity that were nowhere to be found all day. Under the moon, your senses get sharper, your intuition gets louder, and your courage, it becomes undeniable. Some people might call this weird or inconvenient, but it's a huge sign of the transformation. The full moon is preparing you to step into a life where your timing and your energy just don't match the normal, everyday flow anymore. You're becoming someone who shines brightest when everyone else is dimming down. Someone whose real power rises right along with the moon. And the longer you sit in this energy, the more you'll see that this isn't just a phase. It's a sneak peek of who you're meant to be long after the moon has passed. The Great Divide. The closer we get to the full moon, the more you can feel this divide happening. It's not in society, but in vibration. You'll start to notice it in conversations that just don't flow anymore, or in people who suddenly feel miles away, even when they're right next to you. You'll feel a heaviness in certain places. What used to feel normal now just feels draining, and what once felt so comfortable now feels completely foreign. This isn't you being judgmental. It's just recognition. The light from the full moon doesn't just show you what's around you. It shows you what's no longer in sync with you. Some people will just seem off, like they're walking around in a fog. You'll see them repeating the same old complaints, stuck in the same cycles, or just feeling totally disconnected from what's really going on. It's like time is speeding up for you, but it's standing still for them. That's the energetic sorting happening right now, the universe quietly moving souls to the frequencies they've chosen. The light doesn't push people apart. It just reveals where they were standing all along. You might even try to explain how you're feeling, only to realize your words just don't land with them anymore. That's because our awareness itself is stretching, and it's widening the gap between those who are waking up and those who are still asleep. The moon is just turning up the volume on this clarity. And yeah, that can feel a little lonely at first, but that loneliness isn't about being isolated. It's confirmation that you're moving out of an old frequency. You're not supposed to drag anyone with you this time. You're just supposed to watch the split happen, without getting attached to it. The closer we get, the more the universe will test your discernment. Who are you still giving your energy to? What are you still allowing into your space? Really pay attention to how people make you feel after you've been around them. The difference between those who drain you and those who light you up is about to become impossible to ignore. The battle within. As the full moon gets closer, the real battle gets more intense. Not out in the world, but deep inside of you. You might feel torn, right? Like you're being pulled between moving forward and a quiet little urge to just retreat. That's your old identity trying to hang on for dear life. Every habit, every fear, every comfortable little box you put yourself in, it's all scrambling to survive while your new consciousness starts to take over. Your old self doesn't go down without a fight. It tries to bargain with you. It whispers doubts in your ear. It tempts you. But this isn't about healing or forgiveness. Not this time. It's not about processing old emotions or making peace with your past. This is a takeover. Your higher self is literally starting to override your old, outdated programming. And that shift, it can feel like total chaos. One minute you're ready to charge ahead, and the next you're questioning everything. That's not confusion. That's you calibrating. You're learning how to operate from a place of clarity, not a place of comfort. In these days leading up to the full moon, you might notice these internal arguments that seem to come out of nowhere. The voice that says, "Stay small," is going to clash with the one that says, "It's time to step up." The part of you that's terrified of being seen will try to negotiate with the part that's ready to be seen by everyone. This isn't you going crazy. It's the sound of your own evolution. The friction you're feeling is proof that the new you is winning. The moon's growing light doesn't just show you the truth. It burns away everything that can't handle it. You'll feel these moments of surrender followed by these huge waves of defiance, almost like two different timelines are fighting over you. Because on an energetic level they are. The full moon is like the final test. Once its light hits its peak, that old self will have nowhere left to hide. The second you stop negotiating with who you used to be, your future truly begins. And that's what this is all about. Choosing your purpose over your comfort and truth over illusion. By the time the moon is at its brightest, the war inside won't be a war anymore. There will only be one version of you left standing, the one who made it through all the noise and chose to rise. Forged in fire. You've been through storms that should have completely broken you. There were times you probably thought the universe had forgotten all about you, but it never did. It was shaping you. Every single setback, every delay, every heartbreak, none of it was punishment. It was precision. The universe doesn't test our strength. It just reveals it. Those nights where your faith was hanging on by a thread, those weren't failures. That was your training. You were being perfected in the silence, molded in the chaos, and made stronger in the dark. Every time someone betrayed you, it sharpened your intuition. Every time you lost something, it created space for something better. What felt like an ending was really just an alignment in disguise. Now, as this full moon gets closer, the fear that used to run your life is just fading into a sense of calm. You don't feel desperate for a change anymore, do you? You just feel ready for it. The very same pain that once made you feel weak has now become the proof that you were always built for more. The universe didn't isolate you to punish you. It isolated you so you could finally hear how powerful you really are. Everything you have survived has led you right here. The pressure, the confusion, the waiting, all of it created the strength you're standing in today. You know, diamonds don't shine because they want to. They shine because they were forced to survive incredible pressure. As this full moon rises, that weight is finally lifting. You've passed every single hidden test. The chaos was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. All the dots are finally connecting. And everything you thought you lost is coming back to you in a higher form. You're not starting over. You're starting transformed. And the universe is finally ready to show you why you had to go through it all. The call for silence. Lately, you might have noticed that the world just feels louder than ever before. Conversations feel heavy. Simple noise feels draining. Even just being around people can seem overwhelming. This isn't you losing interest in life. It's your spirit craving something that all that noise just can't give you. Silence, space, and stillness. When your soul starts to really transform, noise almost feels like poison. This pull you feel towards being alone isn't you avoiding life. It's you protecting yourself. Your body can sense this massive shift coming, and it's instinctively pulling you away from the chaos so you can stabilize your energy. As the full moon gets closer, any frequency that doesn't match yours just feels off, making all the distractions feel unbearable. You might find yourself turning down invitations or ignoring messages without really knowing why. That's just your system creating a little buffer before the energy surge hits. What feels like you're withdrawing is actually your energy coming back home to you. The silence doesn't feel empty anymore, does it? It feels alive. It's feeding you a kind of strength that the outside world just drains away. When you stop sharing your energy with absolutely everyone, your power stops leaking out. This is your nervous system hitting the reset button, clearing out space for what the universe is about to send your way. At first, the quiet might feel a little strange, but this is where the next version of you is being built. You're not retreating from the world. You're returning to yourself. The solitude you're craving isn't loneliness. It's an initiation. Real creation doesn't happen in the middle of chaos. It happens in the stillness. And when the full moon arrives, that stillness is going to break. Not with noise, but with an awakening that reveals a world totally transformed by the new energy you've become. Surrendering to the flow. Right before a big transformation, there's this kind of peace that settles in. It doesn't come from everything finally working out. It comes from realizing you don't have to control any of it anymore. The chosen ones are stepping into that phase right now, where trying to force life to happen just doesn't feel powerful anymore. And here's the secret. The moment you stop trying to force life, it starts flowing right to you. You're probably noticing how your reactions have changed. When plans fall through, you don't panic. You just trust. You're no longer trying to bend reality to your will. You're aligning with it. This isn't you giving up. This is mastery. See, control is just an illusion that's built on fear. but flow. Flow is a truth that's born from trust. This full moon is showing you just how much of your strength you were wasting trying to steer things that were never meant for you to command in the first place. The moment you take a step back, life starts moving again. People might drift away, paths might change, but everything lands exactly where it's supposed to. You're starting to sense a new rhythm, one that doesn't need you to micromanage it. The future doesn't feel like something you have to chase anymore, but like something that's already waiting for you. Peace isn't found when life gets easier. It's found when you stop trying to make it go your way. So if things feel a little uncertain for you right now, take that as a good sign. It's proof that you're aligned. The full moon isn't here to test your control. It's here to reward your surrender. Because when you finally, truly let go, the universe takes over. Beyond the veil, something really rare is happening to the chosen ones right now. It's something you can't measure or really explain. You can only feel it. It's not just that your frequency is rising. It's a shift so powerful that it's pushing you out of everything that once felt familiar. You're crossing an invisible line that most people don't even know is there. It's that point where your intuition becomes louder than your logic, and the universe starts moving through you instead of just happening around you. Once you stop chasing alignment, alignment starts chasing you. This isn't about vibration as some abstract idea. It's about resonance as a real experience. Reality starts to respond instantly to your energy, not just your effort. Timing gets weird, coincidences start happening all the time, and you start to predict things before they happen. You're not thinking your way through life anymore. You're feeling your way through it. It can feel a little strange at first, right? Your logical mind wants to hold on to the old ways, but they just don't work anymore. You're learning to operate in an energy that only responds to inner peace. Reality stops fighting you the moment you start resonating with it. People, opportunities, and even random events start moving differently around you because your alignment is now stronger than your desire to control. The veil between what you think and what happens becomes paper thin. You'll think of someone, and they'll get in touch. You'll set an intention, and within hours, it starts to unfold. This isn't magic. It's magnetism. At this level, your energy has more authority than your words do. Chaos just loses its grip on you, and your logical mind can finally take a break while your intuition takes the lead. Life no longer asks you to plan out every single step. It just flows through you. You act without overthinking, guided by something that feels both brand new and completely familiar. Most people never get to this point because it requires total surrender, letting go of the mind's need to predict and define everything. But you've been trained to feel rather than think, to sense rather than strategize. And that's why you're crossing this line now. And once you do, there's no turning back. You'll see patterns before anyone else does. You'll sense people's energy before they even open their mouths. Crossing this line doesn't make you special. It makes you responsible. Your choices create ripples faster. Your words shape things quicker. And your thoughts become commands. As the full moon approaches, this shift gets even stronger. The light isn't just shining on you. It's recalibrating you. You're no longer just a participant in the flow of life. You are the flow. If time feels strange and your intuition feels almost spooky, it's because you've crossed a sacred line. This is the point of no return, and it's exactly where you were always meant to be. Your new superpower, discomfort. There's a shift happening in you that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. It's the shift from running away from discomfort to actually feeding off of it. The chosen ones are entering a stage where pain, uncertainty, and pressure no longer feel like a punishment. They've become the spark. Discomfort is no longer your enemy. It's your fuel. Think about how you used to handle chaos. Every little setback felt like a warning sign, right? A reason to stop, protect yourself, and hide until it was safe again. But now, something deeper is taking over. You're starting to notice that when things get hard, you don't fall apart anymore. You rise. You move faster. You adapt quicker. It's as if the very fire that once burned you is now what powers you. This isn't happening because life got any easier. It's happening because you've become someone who has learned to find clarity right in the middle of the storm. That's the sign of this phase. Your nervous system isn't rejecting intensity anymore. It's learning how to translate it. The energy that once completely overwhelmed you is now something your body knows how to use. You're not afraid of pressure anymore, because pressure is what turns on your brilliance. It's what shows you the strength you never knew you had. Growth doesn't come from calm, easy waters. It comes from learning how to breathe when you're underwater. What's happening now is a complete flip of your old programming. You're no longer looking for comfort. You're looking for truth. And the truth, well, it will always challenge you. You're starting to see that everything truly meaningful you've ever gotten came from moments that absolutely terrified you. The job that changed your life came right after a rejection. The breakthrough that woke you up came after a breakdown. The love that healed you came after a heartbreak. Every single gift was wrapped in discomfort, and it's only now that you're seeing the pattern so clearly. You're beginning to understand that the point of a challenge isn't to test your limits, but to show you just how limitless you've become. Discomfort stops chasing you when you start walking toward it. That's the power you are stepping into right now. As the full moon gets closer, you'll feel this even more. Every emotional trigger, every unexpected obstacle, it will all feel like a familiar language, one you finally understand. Instead of backing away from change, you'll start moving toward it because you've learned that evolution doesn't wait for permission. It happens in motion, in friction, in courage. And the more you lean into that friction, the more magnetic you become. People will notice the calm that seems to follow you around. Even when everything around you is chaos, they'll sense that you're no longer running from life. You're mastering it. This is the stage where the universe starts trusting you with bigger challenges because it knows you're not scared anymore. You've proven that you can handle the pressure without losing your peace. You've proven you can find stillness in the middle of a fire. That's why this next phase will feel so different. Life isn't going to slow down to make you comfortable. It's going to speed up to meet your readiness. The energy that once made you anxious will now excite you. The unknown will stop being scary and start feeling like home. You're evolving into someone who sees the test, smiles, and says, "Good, let's see what I can do now." Because the chosen ones don't crumble under pressure anymore. They become the pressure. They become the storm that no longer needs to look for shelter. Because they finally understand they were never meant to just survive the fire. They were meant to become it. Walking in the dark. As the super full moon rises, its light doesn't just light up the sky. It lights up what's been hidden deep inside of you. The chosen ones are starting to shift into a state where the darkness just doesn't feel threatening anymore. We stop fearing the unknown, the hidden parts of ourselves, the things that used to keep us up at night. Instead, we begin to move comfortably in uncertainty. We're no longer haunted by what we can't see, because the light of the moon is making it all visible. You see, fear disappears the moment you stop running from the dark and start walking right through it. This isn't about becoming reckless or not caring. It's about finding a deep new kind of calm when you're facing what other people still run from. Where most people see a mystery, you see an opportunity. Where they sense danger, you sense information. You're realizing that shadows don't exist to scare you. They exist to show you your own depth. The same energy that used to make you shrink back now empowers you to lean in. Under this moon's energy, what was hidden starts to come to the surface, not to hurt you, but to show you your own power. You might notice yourself having conversations you once avoided, stepping into places you used to be afraid of, or exploring sides of yourself you once denied. This is your consciousness expanding. It's no longer trapped by the fear of what might be lurking in the dark. When the light of your awareness meets the dark of uncertainty, the shadow becomes your greatest teacher. This transformation is quiet, but you can't miss it. The full moon turns up the volume on clarity, not just outside of you, but inside you too. You're starting to see the patterns behind the shadows, the truths behind the fears, and the lessons behind the obstacles. Instead of feeling unsettled by what's not clear, you're starting to feel curious, maybe even excited, because you trust that everything that's hidden will eventually be revealed to you at exactly the right time. And as this happens, something incredibly powerful starts to take root inside you. Unshakable composure. The darkness stops feeling like an empty void and starts feeling like a blank canvas. The unknown becomes a place where you grow, not a place where you hide. You're no longer flinching at what you don't understand because you've realized that the unknown is where life truly expands. As the moon peaks, this courage becomes solid. You stop being the person who avoids the shadows and become the person who walks right through them. You see clearly now that shadows don't make the light weaker. They define it. True power isn't found in avoiding the dark. It's found in bringing your own light there. This is the gift of this phase. The ability to move into uncertainty without fear, to face what's hidden without losing yourself, and to discover that what once scared you was never bigger than you. It was only waiting for you to shine, becoming spiritually visible. As the full moon gets closer and its light gets stronger, something quiet but undeniable starts to happen to the chosen ones. That veil between the energetic world and our world gets thinner. And I don't just mean that in some poetic way. I mean it in a way that actually affects how people see you in the real world. Your frequency, which has been quietly changing under the surface, starts to broadcast much louder. This isn't about being famous or standing on a stage. This is a deeper, almost eerie kind of visibility. Your energy signature becomes impossible to ignore. When your frequency gets that clear, the world just can't look past you anymore. You'll start to notice little strange things at first. People might turn their heads right before you walk into a room. Strangers might make intense eye contact with you, even if you haven't said a single word. Someone in a store might feel this pull to talk to you for no reason, while someone else might seem a little rattled by your presence without knowing why. For some of us, this will feel amazing. For others, it might feel a little overwhelming, because being spiritually visible is about more than just being noticed. It means people's subconscious minds are picking up on things they can't quite explain. They feel your calm, your strength, your quiet authority, and it stirs something inside of them. For some, it's admiration. For others, it's resistance. Your energy will either wake them up or expose them. This is why some people will be drawn closer to you, while others will instinctively pull away. It's not personal. It's just energetic truth playing out in real time. In the days leading up to the full moon, this effect gets even more intense. This visibility isn't about your ego. It's not about being special or better. It's just the natural result of becoming energetically whole. When your inner world becomes stable and your vibration stops jumping all over the place, you automatically stand out in a world that's built on distraction. But here's the real truth. This visibility isn't a burden. It's proof that all of your inner work is now shining outward. The full moon doesn't just shine on the ocean. It pulls the tides. In the same way, your frequency isn't just seen under this light. It pulls people, events, and opportunities into your orbit. The moment you become visible, life starts to move around you in a different way. This is no longer the time for hiding. This is the time for embodying who you are. And as the full moon peaks, you'll feel that shift lock into place. You won't have to announce who you've become. Your presence will do it for you. People will start reacting to a version of you that you've only just started to meet yourself. That's the real power of spiritual visibility. It's not a spotlight shining on you. It's your own energy becoming the light. If you're still here with me, I just want to say thank you for your time. If this resonated with you and you'd like to see more, please think about clicking that subscribe button. Your support truly means a lot. I'd love to hear about your experiences or thoughts, so feel free to share them in the comments below. Until next time, take care, and I hope you'll subscribe for more content like this.